of Toronto.
Nice.
It's yeah, it's if you want cheeky, you bring your wife there, you know.
Absolutely. Daggett says, and Mexican taco, well, it's kind of like, like I love them. I freaking love them. In fact, just so you know, just a little bit of a language barrier here. We call the Americans gringos, right? It is not a mean word, nothing like that. Uh,
Gringo. Do you
yeah,
call
gringo.
Canadians igloo then?
No, but like, I mean, guys, I know we're in new times, right? But let's be honest, stereotypes exist, and they exist because something, right? So, as you guys call from Mexico downwards Mexicans, right? We call from US upwards gringos, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, not harm intended, right? But it's just the way it is, right? I'm just speaking truth here. But yeah, it's kind of like the way. It's just about the how do you call this? Pantone, the Pantone color of your skin. You get, like, yeah, you're either from a line down or a line up. Just funny, just funny. No harm intended, by the way, to anyone. But yeah, and tacos, it's just like living in the beach, right? Or living in the snow. If you're living in the snow, Alex, is the snow your favorite outdoor or snow activities? Is that your like favorite thing?
I love the snow, man.
I
Yeah.
also love the snow, but I
The
mean, I
snow
don't
is
know.
good.
Oh,
Mexican snow is
man.
bad for you. It's that's the stuff you put up your nose.
Oh man, that clears your mind. I've heard. I don't know. A friend of a friend told me so. Oh man, but yeah, I mean,
The
I live in
devil's
the beach.
dandruff.
Yeah, and I love the beach. Don't get me wrong, I love it, but it's not my favorite. And I think it has to do because I always have it, right? I kind of like I set it for granted, or since I grew up with it, it's just part of my day life thing. So I love tacos, absolutely, but they're not my favorite. If I go to the States, if I go to Canada, if I go to Brazil, if I go to Germany or something, I'll certainly will freaking miss them. Like, and I'll kill for a taco. But in the meantime, I'm here. I kind of like set them for granted. But enough of food. I think we should take a look at Bitcoin because it is freaking moving up and down. It wants to break out. It doesn't want to break out. Come on. Bitcoin, what the hell are you doing, brother? Just peek it, man. Just peek. Peek a direction. I personally think that it's going down. But I mean, nothing to worry about really. But man, this candle here, this freakish candle here, I don't know. Let me make that big here. So remember that yesterday we were talking about a breakout retest here and then continuation, right? I am expecting a little bit pullback. Actually, Alex also mentioned that he's also expecting a big-ish or bigger pullback, right, Alex? But your time expansion for that pullback, afraid of being mistaken. I recall you mentioned within a week or within a month. Not quite sure that.
You know what? I would think if we break out like we have and we retest $100,000 as support, that would be bullish. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, and that would wreck a lot of people. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I had I got long this morning though, and I made a lot of money. So magic. You know,
Magic.
sometimes you got to be magical.
Oh
You
yeah,
can't always be as
absolutely.
magical as Alex Crypto, but you can try.
Truth.
I believe you can do it with some practice.
let me let
Practice
me
is
take
important.
let me write that in the things I will never be able to achieve. But writing there, being as awesome. All right, being as awesome as Alex O Crypto. Wish list.
You adding that? You adding that to your list?
To my wish list. Yes, absolutely, my
Okay.
friend. Oh, but Let me wrap up my what I'm expecting here, and let me throw it back to you because I'm also very excited to see what was the pattern that you saw, how you take that long, and also how's it playing out. Because I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Remember that yesterday I did not take that long. I still have my bot long opened, right, which is at 140 something percent. But in my day trading account, it's just on standby. I'm getting the FOMO here, so I need that, and I need to rebuild my plan for myself. So at this point, remember what I was expecting this pullback here might have changed in time. So let's just move it somewhere around here. Let's just even pull it somewhere here, and let's correct that because I still see this pointing here as a possible support zone in here. So let me also just corroborate that with my support and resistances first. Oh, I was missing this one. Look at that, a reversal. All right, reversal. Flip-ish of the ribbon. Not quite there, right? It's not like we wanted to see it right here, but flip-ish of the ribbon. Coming back down, I would say let's wait for that zero line to be impacted. I also would say that we might be able to go down also somewhere around here. I wouldn't be maybe aiming to 100 all the way down here. It's totally possible. And as Alex mentioned, that will wreck a lot of people, right? But like big time. But what I'm mostly expecting it is for my first TP entry is going to be 103. It's not that far away, of course, but I mean, it is a substantial movement here. It is a 3%, 4% movement. So still pretty good movement for Bitcoin at this market cap. Nonetheless, let's start dropping some stuff in here. And of course, support and resistances are below. We don't have anything above. Why? Because we are on price discovery. Therefore, support and resistance will add confluence just at the lower points, but not at the higher points, right? So just to compensate that, what I'm using, there we go, it is my order blocks and most importantly, predictive ranges, right? So we're using predictive mathematics, just like, those mathematical guys use a predictive math to predict which numbers of lottery they should be buying. Same thing we're doing here. We're using previous data to predict previous volume, market price action to predict what might be the next upcoming volatility. Therefore, we can find those support and resistances on past price action, right? So I have a loud order blocking here, right? But it's very, very thick. Also, it has, look at that, 96% bullish. Guys, people are just waiting for this little retracement to happen. And I'm aiming at the bottom. And it's not because of the order block. This order block is basically brand new. It wasn't there here yesterday. It just built up overnight, right? People started allocating their money. Why? Because they're bullish. They might have a little extra cash. Like end of the year is coming. Maybe they have a little bit more influx on that. But also remember that I was looking at our previous highs in here and also my predictive ranges right down here, right? So that's why I was aiming for this retracement. Also, it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest. We have our first retest action here, which indicates me that this is a support, right? So that's what I'm going to be aiming at this point before looking at the next most important part, which is Alex mentioned, 100K, right? But so far, this is going to be my first DC8 entry on my secondary bag, right? This is going to be worth, for me, a full entry. Why? Because this is a DC8 entry, right? This is not half of a position. This is not going to be my daily trade. Although, if I see flip of the ribbon right down here, and of course, I'm going to be stealing this from Alex's strategy because it works amazingly. I'm going to also be looking for some clipping right down here on the Max 7, on the Big 7 in here, right? So I will also be looking for maybe a clipping right down here, flip of the ribbon, and then aiming somewhere around this area, somewhere around 104, 700. That's going to be my entry point for my first daily trading position. What's going to be my standpoint in here? I would say 3 days at most. I mean, it could be just today just going down, but look at that pressure. I mean, look at that order border. Just goes in and push it back up. Goes in and push it back up. This is killing me. I'm not going to lie. This is freaking killing me. Man, I want to hit that freaking buy button right now. but I know that it's gonna freaking drop as soon as I hit it, right? So I need to be patient. I need to be patient. I keep reminding myself, and I'm sharing this with you guys because I also want to describe what's going on inside of my head, right? You might see me sometimes very chill, but also remember that you're not alone when you're having that rush of, dude, this thing is gonna freaking fly out of the to the moon, and I'm not gonna be taken with them, right? So I'm still making money. That's why I keep reminding myself. I still have an open position. I'm still doing it right, right? And I just need to stick with what I have learned, which is my plan. And my plan is retracement, entry, going with the movement, right? Other than that, that's why I have my secondary and tertiary, my third wallet, and I do different movements in within each one. So when it things blows up, it doesn't take me. It does take me with it, right? So far, this is my analysis. Still waiting for flip of the ribbon or further development to the downside and then flip of the ribbon, right? As we are maybe keep going downwards into the order block. Is it a chance for us not to hit that order block? Absolutely. I mean, we the order block seems like it's just pushing the price, right? It's just pushing the price upwards. That's what it seems like, and that is also a reality. This could actually be it. Why? Because new buyers can come in here, set a position, right? And then it bounces up. And this guy that put the position in here is, oh, shoot, they're taking my Bitcoin. Let's move my position. Let's cancel it and push it up, right? So that's why you will see over time how those order blows are like recalculating based on new additions. They are not repainting, but you need to understand how order blocks work. And what we do, we recalculate with every single candle. Why? To give you the most recent data so you know how the price allocation it is playing out on your charts. And you can start saying maybe, right? Like in here, maybe this order block is not going to allow the price come back down. So maybe I can do a half of a position here, maybe at a 3x, right? Maybe. This is not financial advice. And then if it goes back down, well, then you allocate the rest of your half of a position and maybe, right, maybe have an extra order divided in two, so half in half again, right, for DCA 1, right, or DCA 2 and and DCA number 3, right? In that case, you will be prepared for going to visit the previous low of the range. And man, I think that average down will get you somewhere around here. And then boom, shakalaka as we break up and then continuing if we play it out in the bearish scenario. If not, well then just keep waiting on it. There's nothing wrong with waiting on it. There's nothing wrong to letting it run. At the end of it all, sometimes not having a position, it is a position because if you're not certain, which by the way, certainty comes in little chunks, right? It's not that, yeah, I know, right? It's not like I absolutely know what's going to happen. If that would have been the case, I would have sold my house, sold my car, sold my soul, right? And then put it into as higher percentage as I can go within a 1% movement. And then overnight, I'll just be millionaire and wouldn't be here. So nobody knows. That certainly builds over confluence, right? And over knowing your house. What's knowing your house? It's just knowing what patterns you're looking for, what structure you're waiting for, what signals you're waiting for, so on and so forth. So having said that, that's my analysis. Let me throw it back to you, Alex, because I want to see the master of the lower time frames played out his game.
Oh man, I don't know. Like I feel like even my Discord this morning was saying I should charge for my fortune telling services. Um, because it was a pretty good trade. I'm currently long right now because of FOMO. Um, oh man, you sometimes you just gotta go long. That's what I've realized. Or I hit take profit one. Now I'm telling you, OC, this entry this morning, bro. Sometimes I'm good, you know? Sometimes I'm really good though. Sometimes like I don't know. Sometimes the trading gods are very kind to me. Okay, so what happened this morning? It's funny thinking about it here. So we roll over, right? We come to VWAP. We continue all the way up here. Guess what my entry was, bro?
I mean, I can see it right there, isn't it? Oh, really? Holy shit, man.
I don't I don't always boast, but sometimes you gotta toot your own horn.
Look at
10750.
that.
Look, even lower.
Dude, you were the last
Okay.
order there. Nice.
I gotta zoom in further. Oh my god, it's not even it's on that's on MEXC, so it's not even on Bybit. I broke the system today. My god. What a long. Anyway, so sometimes you gotta be like, okay, that was pretty slick, you know? Um so what do we see? We know we know it's hunting all-time highs, right? We know that's where the liquidity is. That's one, right? We know they're rugging everybody. What did they do? They rugged everybody, right? We know that. So we got to be cautious with getting long. Is this the rug? We don't know. That's why we use risk management. Okay. This morning, we get to the charts. We're kind of late for the long, right? So this is where I start my trading day. We're kind of late, right? Down in here, right? There's your double bottom, continuation, bounce off VWAP, continuation up, right? So we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting and we fake out. So we know that they want to come back up. Why? Because they faked out the all-time high first, right? We zoom in here. You guys know me, short-term time frames, okay? They fake out the all-time high right there. They do not take it. They say, meh, just kidding. Okay. This is right when market opens too. Okay. Now, you guys know I'm big on confluence, right? So what do we see here on the S&P? We open up the market and we gap down, okay? Whenever you gap down, you typically come back for the rest of the day and fill up that gap. That's just a general rule. Whichever way we gap, typically we're going to return to that gap. That's just a general rule. So I can use that as confluence. So I'm like, okay, we might just come back for a little bit here, right? So we gap down, looking for it to come back up. Confluence. Then going back over to Bitcoin here. So we come down and we're coming into VWAP. And my trade is very simple. I'm looking for VWAP retest, continuation up because we didn't take the high. Now this was only, I knew I had to protect my stop loss below here, and I knew I could target the all-time high. Okay, so not a bad trade. However, we came down here, and on the very small time frames, we did a double bottom. Okay, so if we zoom in here on the 1 minute, okay, we zoom in here. What we have is we push down after the open, we push down, we mitigate the low. So that means we've grabbed liquidity. This is still an uptrend on a higher term time frame. And we sweep down, we push up, and we get our beautiful wick test. We come right perfectly back up for a double bottom wick test. I press buy. Limit order two. Limit order two. Okay, not market. Limit order. And then boom, guess what we get? We get our 1% move all the way up here. We pay ourselves ciao for now. Now, then we move the stop loss up, comes back down, knocks us out, make $500. Happy days. Okay. So that was this morning. Very intense. I suggest you go back and just watch the market open. Okay. You can see how my thought pattern was doing it live. It's always important to see someone do it live and how they're thinking their way through the trade. Okay. it's easy to say, oh, I longed here, I'm a genius. It's another thing to say, hey, this is why. What was I looking at? What was the thought pattern? What was the psychology? How do you think through it? And I think that's where you learn. That's why I do it live, because you can see I'm like all through here. I'm like no trade, and like of course you want to press buy, FOMO, 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 all the way up, right? This whole morning it's pumping, right? But we wait, we wait, we wait, we wait, we wait, we wait, and then boom, we execute, we make our money, right? So, and then guess what? We then when we took the high, guess what we did? We dumped, right? As expected, as expected. Now, number one rule for a lot of traders is you never short all-time highs. Okay, that's a very big rule, and I follow that rule as well. So now we've come up to view up. I'm in this long. I've hit take profit one. You know, bottoming structure here, clipping bullish divergence. Okay, on your 1 minute down in here. So this is bull divs. When it starts to round off, you're expecting a higher low, break of structure, continuation, retest, push up right here. Here's your lower low. Here's your clipping. Okay, short-term time frames. If you want to see this on a higher term time frame, very simply, you can see how we got double top in here, overextension, right? A bottoming structure here. Okay, very big rollover this morning. And literally just coming back, where do we see the most liquidity in this move, right? It's all in here, right? This is all rounded bottoms, bullish divergence, all in here. So that creates liquidity in this area, right? Yes, we have liquidity coming up this morning. That was easily taken. But we have this liquidity in here where we haven't really retraced back in and gone. Okay, so that's your first idea. Your second idea, when zooming out, is where is liquidity? And I can get rid of all my areas and stuff like that. But where's liquidity in this? You always want to ask yourself, okay, this thing is pushing, retracing, pushing, retracing, pushing, retracing, right? Very, very ladder step. But pushing, retracing. Okay, remember, elevator down. Okay, elevator down. This is why we must protect ourselves with good risk management. Must. Otherwise, you're going to get absolutely demolished, like a lot of people did here, buying the top and not paying themselves. Okay, this dumped, 2% within 5 minutes or whatever it was, right? So we must protect ourselves with a stop loss, and then we look to jump on the trend because it is our friend. So I do suggest you get, a dynamic reactor going, maybe a quantum reactor, right? Look for the retest back down into your quantum reactor. Oh, look at that one. Oh, look at that one. 15-minute time frame, quantum reactor, looking pretty juicy, right? Pretty juicy. Okay, trendy. Quantum reactor, fast, okay? Trendy. So when you're far away from any sort of moving average like a quantum reactor, right? When you're far away, you tend to return to it, okay? You tend to return to it. You tend to try and return to it, right? It's just a general trending tool. You need to understand that when you're outside of your trend, you're typically looking to return back to your trend, right? And it works that for the dynamic reactor, for the quantum reactor, very effective, okay? And also you're getting a lot of warning signs here with your max profit, take profit, G mode, okay? You're getting your TP2s, your TP1, right? Up at the top here. What does BMP stand for again? Sorry.
Hover over it.
Buy max profit. There we go.
Yep.
So very effective tool. Okay? Very effective tool. And then you have your volatility index right now going off. Crazy volatility, right? So I do like the volatility matrix as well. It's very effective, right? Just detecting high volatility of candles, right? Okay, and you can see obviously coming up to the all-time highs here, shaky, bye-bye to your long. Because we as traders, we need to think in opposites, right? We need to think about opposites. What does that mean? Okay, so price is moving down here, right? Why is price moving down here? Because the market maker, the person who's balancing these markets, right? they're building a short coming up here. Okay, they need your longs coming up into this here to push price down. Okay, they need your longs to push price down, even though it's supply and demand. And yes, this thing is going up. They still need to build positions to balance the books. You need balance in the force. They have to make the market. Okay, so it's very important to understand what they're trying to do. What were they trying to do this morning? Okay, they came down for liquidity one. They pushed up, trapping longs, long, 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 long. I longed too, but I paid myself, right? And then boom, coming back to wreck everybody who's getting trapped. They don't want to let you guys. They don't want to let us win as leverage traders. Okay, they want to wreck as many people as they can with moves like this. So our job is to participate. I got long here yesterday, right? I got long here today. Those were my two trades. Made my money, ran away, right? Because why? This, right? So environment's very critical. Now, long term, like I was saying here, let's look at some long term stuff. So as we come up in here, look at this trend line, okay? So we got a very, very simple trend line. Where's price right now? Okay. And where's $100,000? That's what I wanted to ask, okay? So for me, like I said, for us to continue, this here would be ideal. To come back and retest 100K, scare everybody, oh my God, right? And then go. That's going to be my general thought. Now, catching this short, I don't think is going to be easy. But look at this candle, guys. 12% down. This is only 6. This is only 6. This is 12. Okay? Very, very easily done. Okay? They're going to build up all of your longs. What are they doing here on a higher term time frame? Right? This is all liquidity in here. Look at this. If you could even go from down here, look at this massive, massive momentum. It has been up only since December 10th. We've moved 14% up. Okay? In 7 days. Pretty incredible, right? Pretty incredible. So I would be setting an alarm on this upwards trend line, looking for it to break and retest because OC said so. Okay, breakout, retest. Okay, so if we do drop, you look for this and then this, very easily done, and that would be healthy, right? That'd be healthy. A little wick down here, continuation up we go. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying be prepared for something like this. A good example of this, in my opinion, is right here. So this is 25,000. Okay. This is where we started I would say we started our bull run. Okay. We came up here, we broke structure out of the bear market. We went, then we started our bull run right here. Okay. This is going into the ETF. Okay. ETF is in January, so it's right here. Here's our ETF. But what happened before we went absolutely parabolic is that we had this one move here. This one here. This is what I'm expecting right here to come soon. I'm expecting this one before this one. Okay? Because you can see here, very similar where we push up, we come back down, we push up, come back down, we push up, come back down, we push up. Very big. This would be where we're at right now, in my opinion. Looks very similar. Then the rug, and then we go. Okay? And if you want to, you can put the fractal. Like I'm not a big fractal trader, but it's a good visual, I guess. Geez, I should just favorite this thing. Where is it here? Bars pattern. Is it bars pattern? I think it's bars pattern.
Yeah.
So if we go from here and all the way up, right? Yeah, that's it. And we pull that to where we are right now, just visually. Like, I really don't like these things, but visually, you can see we've had that big uptrend move, right?
Perfect. Look at that.
Right? Very easily, right? Just visually, if you want to see how I would think it would look, right? And this right here, man, everybody would be crying to, they'd be calling their grandma and being like, can you make me those cookies, please? I'm sad. OC told me to FOMO in at the top.
Oh man.
I'm kidding. But then on this downtrend, that sweep and that breakdown, right? You're looking for the break of structure and the continuation trade, right? And then boom, we go into whatever, 140, 130. And that I think would be like a top, a cycle top. This would be like, I would say, end of February, March. And you see the rotation into altcoins. We'd all take our big money and we run. That would be as nice as I could put it. Okay. Okay. But be cautious, be cautious because this is very easily done in a market like this. Right? We're very euphoric. Fear and greed's at 86. Okay. And if we're looking at cycle theory and we're looking at when we're supposed to be taking our profits, right? Let me zoom out here on our weekly. And we look at when are we supposed to be taking profits? Well, we're not there yet. 40 to 80 weeks from the Bitcoin halving, right? So we go 40 to 80 weeks, 40 to 80 weeks. We're not there yet. So I think they deliver some pain before we get there. And that's just my thinking. Okay. Even though we have very bullish momentum, we have a bull moon right now. Oh, right. Woohoo, let's go.
Nice.
Um, bull moon here. Pretty accurate, actually, right here, too. Okay. But patience, patience. Santa Claus rally is real, but also January correction is also very real. Okay. January correction, last cycle, right here, 30% correction in January. Okay. So be very, very patient. Pay yourselves early if you are long and you're riding these waves, but also manage your risk. I think is the best thing you can do for yourself in an environment like this. Okay. What do you think about that, OC? 500,000, 2026?
Oh yes, please give it to me, baby. So absolutely. I haven't watched that crypto face video. I will gonna be watching it. Maybe we can talk about it tomorrow or something. I also want to point out a couple of things. Remember, guys, that I hold different kind of tools, let's just call it, which is different wallets, right? In each wallet, I do a different thing. One of the things that I like to keep an eye on, it is my bot, right? We take a look at Monday, usually Wednesday and Friday, right? I just wanted to bring it up here because just looking at back, all the way back, I mean, is this correction really worth it? I mean, can I really see that correction? I don't know, right? Just like Alex was mentioning, right? It's still not there yet. I mean, of course, that we can come back down to 100K, which is not gonna be too alarming, but still, I think this is the way to go, right? Just patience, and look for that market structure. Another thing that I want to touch on before we move out of Bitcoin, it is what was it? Oh yeah, I do see a man in here. So, man, you asked me a question yesterday about the VPVR, if I'm not mistaken. Was it the VPVR or was it the order blocks or the? I did not actually knew much about it. VPVR. All right. So I directed you to the class, right? Where we teach the VPVR. If you have a chance to watch it, please watch it because I do explain in depth. But just because you're here right now, let's take advantage of that and let's explain. We were looking at something. Let's just kind of like manipulate this just a little bit, right? So I can see something that was just alike. All right. It was, there we go. It was something like this. It was a big bearish, right, outcome, so negative, but it was out of a small volume. All right. Remember that your left part, it is not talking about the volume itself. It's talking about the disparity on that volume. All right. So there you go. Let me just pull that up. Open link. There we go. Perfect. And I mean, I don't know why it's not showing your volume here. I don't know if it was turned off, but it is a reference to that. When I went and look at it, I remember it was a little bit, way smaller here, right? So anything of these things, anything, and I'm calling things because it's not just the BPVR. Everything that you see on your screen is going to be a support or resistance. If it is above price action, what do you think it is? Give me a guess. I know you know this, but give it a guess. It is a resistance, right? Perfect, exactly, yes. It is a resistance. Is it positive? Yes, but it also comes from a bearish scenario, right? Which is what? From the total volume, well, we divide positive, negative, we do the math, and then we have the outcome, right? Which means that since this is not 100%, it also have some bearish volume in here. So absolutely, this is going to act as a rejection zone. So the point in here is that, all right, we know it has some bearish to it, but it's mainly bullish. Something important to note that this is not volume. This is not raw volume. So remember what I explained in the classes. For me, I'm looking the size of this kind of movements. Large size to the left indicates retail. What does retail do? Nothing, because they cannot get together to one single direction, right? They fight over that, exactly, they fight over the same place. So for me, and let me draw it, let me see if I can copy this, copy image, let's go to here, whatever. Let me turn everything off so I can have a clean canvas. All right, and let's paste it here. Let's make it big. There we go. So this is where your craftsmanship comes in place, right? So let's follow up on this. So we see a big movement. And first, what we see, big body candle going through dynamic reactor. So that is telling you what? Big body candle through dynamic reactor. It's an indication of what? Of breakthrough, right? So we're speculating exactly bullishness because we're breaking through the dynamic reactor from the bottom up, right? So yes, you're right, bullishness. So remember, right here, look at that big body candle going through, right, piercing it. So that's contended. That's how you say it. Well, that is kind of like a for sure. That's serious, right? So it has a punch to it, right? Same thing's happening here. So if I see this and then I have a resistance, what do you think is going to happen to the resistance? Right? And I know you know this. I know you know this. Because you have given examples of this exactly. But this might be just something that happens to all of us, right? Which is sometimes that uncertainty that we have. Which indicator is this? That is the VPVR, or the volume profile magnifier inside the Market Dynamics Pro. So if this is a resistance, despite it's positive, it's still a resistance, right? We're going to reject from it. All right. Now the question is, how far can we reject from it, right? That is the real question. Since it is mainly bullish, I would say the bearish gas is low, right? It's running out of bearishness. So what is the next thing that is coming here? The next thing that is coming, oh, come on. Can I send this to the bottom? Send to background. Oh, really? You gotta be kidding me. Come on, man. What does it need to be so freakishly hard, this? All right, and it's at the top. All right. What if I put it all the way there? All right, finally, freaking, oh, come on. Whatever. Let's just work with what we get. So here, what we have coming in, we have the dynamic reactor, right? The dynamic reactor. Dynamic reactor is strong. So if this has low bearishness but still retraces on the price action, what do we are expecting, right? First of all, we know this is a ranging zone. And then we also know it's low bearishness. So we have two possible options here. First option will be, what is my continuation? It is breakout, retest, and then pierce through where? The next most bearish zone. Look at that. Highly bearish, right? So there we go. We are right now 1, 2 steps ahead of the market. One coming down, 2 steps ahead of the market. Let's just also figure out the next possibility. Since we know this is a high disparity with a high bullishness, and this indicates fighting over the area, I would say that we could most likely be looking at something like this. And I'm exaggerating I'm exaggerating a little bit this range. The length of this range, but you don't need to know this, but just so you know, the length of this range usually is very paired to the actual volume that you have behind. The higher this volume is, or the farther we have that volume coming to the right, the longer this range is going to be playing out there, right? The smallest this thing is, the shortest this range is going to be, right? So maybe you have 1, 2 points and then a movement, right? But those are the two measure possibilities. What was it? And let's see if I nail that analysis, right? Let's just for the sake of what it is, CRV USDT of the 15 minutes. Man, I'm putting myself in the line. Let's see if that worked, right? Let me just clear this up. And that was CRV USDT. Let's just use Bybit. Shouldn't be that far off. Oh no, that's scroll, CRV. Here, there you go, 15 minutes. And then what happened? Oh, look. Wasn't this what we were talking about? Holy shit. Did we nail that? And guess what? Look at that. Yeah, little Reggie here taking the one, breaking through. Man, that was pretty fantastic. So as you can see, this is a clear picture because I was not looking at CRV results, right? This is a clear picture of how things can be not predicted. I know we always use prediction, but speculate on based on the tools that we got, right? So as you can see, it nailed it. It nailed it. All right, so other than that, I think, did I answer your question, Eman? Let me know. Drink more coffee. Who should drink more coffee? I'm on my second cup of coffee, my friend. I don't know if I can take some more. Oh, shit. Yes, for sure. Oh, you. Perfect. All right, Aman, I think that was a perfect example. Sorry not to reply to you on time. I think we needed also to look at it in here on the screen. I think that's the best way to answer that. I'm going to be replying with this video to your comment. So make sure to add me once again so we can share with the rest of the community. And of course, and also yesterday was a little bit of a bumpy ride for me. So that's why I just came to you like, what was it, 3 hours after? So sorry about that. But here it is. So what can we predict right now, right? Let's just wrap this one up. And then I want to, all right, we don't have that much time. I want to do a run with our J Bravo gang here, our J Bravo homies. So we have a trend line here, right? We have that double bottom, that double top or triple top, sweep of the highs, right? Breakthrough, retest, continuation. What's it gonna be? We need to find where things are gonna start stopping, right? That's the first thing that we need to do, right? We don't need to, or we don't want to jump in the middle of a thing or without knowing where the support and resistance are going to be. We're piercing through, not with big body candle. If we're not piercing through big body candles, most likely, not for sure, most likely it's a fake out, right? We still need to see what the hell does the oscillator does, right? If it do a flip of the ribbon, look at that, it kind of like it really wants to, right? That's a reversal. If it really wants to and can't do it, well then we're gonna be refining or redefining our trend line like that. Is it there for sure? No. This is one of the things that we need to wait for. Or also, draw your trend line here. And as Alex does, wait for breakout, retest, right? Sweep of the lows, higher high. There we go. Maybe the next little pattern if it's a little bit longer. And then with the flip of the ribbon, maybe break through the zero line here, incorporation of that money flow jumping in and to the moon. All right. So is it this analysis for sure? Not there yet because I'm just guessing where things are. And I haven't used the indicators to reveal where the support and resistance are, right? So let's do that right now. Oh, look at that. What we got coming in strong here, right? So this is a pattern. So it's very close to it. So let's just even define this just a little bit like that. As you can see, I'm not that far off for now, right? For now. Let's do that. The next one. Oh, look at that. Support and a highly bullish. What is this? If you guys remember, it's inside Market Dynamics Pro. And this is one of my favorite tools. This is a liquidity zone. All right. So perfect. There we go. We have a liquidity zone. So that is confluence. Let's see. Do we have anything else? Oh, pattern. I cannot trade that pattern. It's already expired. So let's just move on. Again, volume. Do I have volume? Maybe I need to reduce the length of this, right? But whatever. Let's see what else do I got in here. Let me just turn this off. Oh, order blocks. Perfect. Too soft. Maybe they make a hard order block. How do I average them? Well, average them at the middle. And guess where is the middle? Right there, right? Middle-ish. And then let's go for the next one. Same. A little lower. By the way, this is going to be my next possible entry. All right. And I think that's it. I mean, I think we basically nailed it down, right? We have everything that we need to. We have our possible bouncing zone. We're going to be waiting for the flipped ribbon, break off the trend line, and you know what it comes, right? So still, we're going to be below dynamic reactor. Be careful, be careful, be careful, because dynamic reactor is very powerful. Other than that, I want to do it. Let me move fast. Alex, I know you will need to go on time today. Guys, many
That's
times.
okay. Take your time, man. You're doing great.
Thank you, my friend. For our J Bravo guys, our J Bravo band also, gang. Let's take a look at a couple things. You see us most likely doing crypto, right? And we always call, hey, look at this trade I took, look at the results, so on and so forth, right? In crypto, since everything is in the same bag, or mostly in the same bag, right? Because despite we have AI, we have meme coins, so on and so forth, everything's kind of like in the crypto space, if that makes sense, right? Everything is dependent or call-dependent, both of volatility for FOMO and Bitcoin movement, right? So I know there's always that little coin that blows up, right? But when we're talking on stocks, and when we're talking on ETF, they tend to be clustered more together in bunches, right? So NVIDIA with technology, chip manufacturing, so on and so forth. And that's what we start looking for, right? In those little universes of kind of stocks, right? At this point, let's take a look at how it's economy, right? What is your economy? And by the way, guys, just so you know, we're building to what could we be looking at and how to prepare for the possible scenario so we can nail down bottoms and then right from the bottom to the top, right? So economy is doing fairly well. Let's just say it. I mean, we just can't, maybe we started out a big recession, right? Because of whatever. And then what comes with either economic constraints or after recessionary things? What happens, for example, to the energy factor, right? Therefore, I'm going to be looking at CCJ. Just by any chance, Alex, I know you don't need to know this, of course, and I'm just bringing this out of the blue, but have you heard about CCJ or
No
Cameco Corporation? That is a Canadian, that is the estimated biggest holder of uranium deposits on Canada. It's a minor company.
Ooh.
Right? Yes. You might be saying, oh, look at that uranium, right? Or Uranus, whatever, right? So, oh no, it's uranium, right? Uranium is coming down. Oh, Good. Maybe atomic bombs, that's plutonium, might be decreasing. Great. Perfect. But remember that we need to zoom out, right? Let's do that. Double top, break things here, coming into a high resistance. Let's zoom out. Let's go maybe to a daily. And, ooh, ooh, ooh. Is it really coming down? Jesus. Is it really coming down? I mean, so if it's not really coming down, maybe this is not that alarming. And guess what we got there? A trend line, right? A trend line. This is very codependent on nuclear plants, right? And something very interesting that you might not notice at this point. Let's go to the next one. Denison Mines Corp. Again, another US-based mining corporation having a slight retracement, but if you zoom back, ooh, still pushing hard, right? France, China, Russia, which other country? I think US also pushed harder because they have nuclear plants, nuclear plants, right? And despite what, I mean, yes, one of those incidents could be very bad for climatic change and exposure, but so far, that is the cleanest energy with the better result outcome, right? So I believe, that's personal belief, that we should be pushing on it. And with the price dropping, maybe we could be seeing Germany reactivating a couple of their nuclear plants, right? Well, I don't know. That's speculation. Let's go to the next one here. Same pattern, right? Look at that double bottom, double top, kind of like that. If we go farther back enough, well, it doesn't go that far, but still, oh, there we go. A clear uptrend, right? A clear uptrend. There we go. Do we have our double bottoms? Yes. Can we maybe measure for a trend line? Let's use our indicators, right? Look at that, pierce through. So most likely breakthrough, retest, and off we go. Maybe finding, look at that, very close to the flip of the ribbon. So let's see if we can find some supports. We are on supports. So flip of the ribbon maybe here, maybe there. If we break through retest, well, there you go, short it, right? If we instead flip of the ribbon, break through the zero line and see money flow pushing in, even if you're a little bit late here, maybe on the breakthrough retest here, you jump in, right? So this is how we are preparing. But let me give you guys one more thing here. Universal Security Industries. And the first thing I looked at is I was like, dude, are we talking about nukes? Well, hold on your horses. You didn't guess this. Well, I guess you do. But for me, it came out as a surprise. I knew about this because I was following a case, I think, in France, where a kid did an experiment. Very interesting here. Look at that. About Universal Security Industries. Smoke and carbon monoxide alarms. Yes, they use uranium on the freaking thing that you put on your ceiling, right, to detect the smoke and monoxide alarms. So just so you know, the kid bought a freaking bunch of it for a class experiment and tried to do a miniature nuclear reactor on his garage. He gave the freaking neighborhood 3 times the dose of radiation that it was permitted. Dude. So do not go do that, right? So what's happening here? Oh, we have a burst of movement and keep pushing up. Why? Because to create or manufacture those things, we need the price of uranium to drop so that damn thing gets cheaper, right? So could you maybe look for a short term, for a shorting here, as we look for maybe a long position here? You see the inverse correlationship here? All right, just food for thought. This is how we start preparing for in everything, right? Stocks, forex, crypto, whatever you want to call it for, especially on stocks. Why? Because stocks, it's kind of like a whole universe thing, right? And then you start seeing those moon orbiting just like you, right? So just food for thought, guys. This is one of the things that I'm looking at, uranium price. I might be diverging a little bit on what I'm going to be doing. I'm planning to get the ETF of uranium. This is it. Maybe when I see flip of the ribbon, if we are not losing this area, I will be engaging on my first entry. If not, I'm gonna be engaging on my first entry somewhere around there. Other than that, Alex, 10:58. I'm on time.
You've done it.
I've done
Oh
it.
man, you're incredible.
Thank you, my
But
friend.
yeah, it's been a good day. I mean, I would let the dust settle right now. Let it settle. Set your levels right now. We're bouncing. You could see a retest here for a swing failure pattern down below on Bitcoin, but for now, I would leave it alone. I would leave it alone. Let it really establish a range is what I'm looking for really. Yeah, you can jump in quick scalps, pay yourself quickly, get direction right, you know, but for me we're clipping right now on the 15-minute. I would look for a sweep down, higher low, maybe long there, but be patient. Thank you guys for being here. We will see you guys tomorrow. And OC, good luck with your uranium and have a good day, everybody. Take care. Mad love.
Thank you so much, Alex. Guys, thanks so much for joining. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.